Welcome to today's deep dive. We're going deep into the latest AI research coming out of arXiv.org. From robots that can understand our world to AI that can help us breathe cleaner air.
It really is incredible to see all of the ways researchers are pushing the boundaries of what AI can do. The sheer volume and the variety of these new developments are just mind-boggling.
Yeah, it's like every day there's a new breakthrough. So let's start with something that sounds straight out of science fiction. Robots can understand our language and actually see the world in 3D.
Yeah, this is groundbreaking research, unifying 2D and 3D vision with language understanding. The uni.LG project is a great example. They're training AI to connect words with objects in a three-dimensional space.
So you're saying that instead of just recognizing a blue cube in a picture, it can actually find a blue cube on a shelf in a room.
Exactly. It's like giving robots the ability to understand and interact with the world the way we do. The possibilities are pretty much endless. Manufacturing, logistics, search and rescue operations.
Wow. So it's like those voice assistants that we use every day are suddenly getting eyes and hands.
That's a great analogy. But even with all of this progress, AI still has its quirks.
Oh yeah, for sure.
One of the biggest challenges that researchers are tackling is this problem of hallucinations.
Hallucinations?
Yeah, where AI models generate information that isn't really based in reality.
So the AI is like making stuff up.
Basically.
Okay, that sounds a little unsettling.
It can be, especially if we're relying on AI to make critical decisions. Imagine a self-driving car that suddenly sees an obstacle that's not there.
Oh yeah, that's definitely unsettling.
So researchers are working on how to prevent these AI hallucinations. One approach is through rigorous testing. Like there's the Verify benchmark, which is designed to push AI models to their limits to make sure they can actually understand visual information.
So it's like giving the AI a pop quiz.
Exactly.
And what else are they doing?
Another approach is to help AI focus on the most important details. There's a new decoding method called through the magnifying glass that helps AI zero in on the crucial visual clues.
So it's almost like the AI is using a magnifying glass to really examine the evidence carefully.
Yeah, exactly. This kind of approach could lead to more accurate and reliable AI-generated content, whether it's for writing or image generation or even decision-making.
That makes sense. Now, beyond vision and language, researchers are also making huge strides with those powerful language models, the LLMs.
That's right. One of the most interesting areas of focus right now is adaptability. The Adalava framework allows an LLM to adjust its processing power based on the task at hand.
So if the AI needs to make a quick decision, it can prioritize speed, but if it needs to be extra careful, it can slow down and really think things through.
Precisely. That kind of flexibility is essential for making LLMs more practical for everyday use, especially on devices with limited resources. Like imagine an AI assistant on your smartwatch that can understand complex requests without draining your battery in 5 minutes.
I'm sure a lot of people would love that, and researchers are finding clever ways to make LLMs more compact and efficient.
Definitely. I read something about arXiv that sounded really promising.
arXiv. What's that about?
So it's all about upcycling existing components of transformer models to create something called multi-head latent attention, or MLA for short. And this allows for much smaller and faster models without having to compromise on accuracy.
So they're essentially making LLMs more lightweight.
Yeah, exactly. They've actually managed to shrink the size of a 1 billion parameter model's memory by over 6 times while keeping the performance the same.
Wow, that's incredible. It seems like researchers are finding new ways to push the boundaries of what these models can do every day. But it's not just about making AI more powerful and efficient, it's also about using it to solve real-world problems.
Absolutely. We're seeing AI being applied to so many different things, from environmental monitoring to personalized medicine.
Yeah, I was reading about this research using AI to identify air pollutants in real time.
Oh yeah, that's fascinating stuff. They're combining tiny optical sensors with machine learning to create devices that can classify different pollutants like ash, sand, even candle smoke on the spot.
So instead of waiting for lab results, you could get real-time information about the air quality.
That's the idea. It could be a game changer for public health, especially in areas with high pollution levels.
That's a powerful application of AI. And speaking of health, there's also this interesting research on using machine learning to predict treatment outcomes for people with body dysmorphic disorder.
Body dysmorphic disorder.
Yeah, it's a condition where people are overly preoccupied with perceived flaws in their appearance. And researchers have developed a model that can actually predict how well someone might respond to different treatments.
That's interesting.
And you know what? One of the strongest predictors wasn't the severity of their symptoms, but the individual's belief in the treatment's credibility.
So if someone believes a treatment will work, they're more likely to see results.
Yeah, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
It really highlights the power of the mind-body connection.
And it shows how AI can reveal these hidden patterns in data that we might not even be aware of.
Definitely. Well, we've seen some amazing advancements today, but as with any powerful tool, we need to remember that there's also a human side to AI.
That's so important. As AI becomes more integrated into our lives, we need to think about the ethical implications and make sure that it's used in a way that benefits everyone.
Well said. And it's a great segue into our next topic. Stay with us as we dive into the ethical considerations of AI in just a moment.
It's true. It's easy to get caught up in all the excitement around this new technology, but we can't forget about the human element. AI is a tool, and just like any tool, it can be used for good or bad.
It's a good point. We've talked about robots that can see and understand the world, AI that can help us breathe cleaner air, even AI that can personalize healthcare. But with all this potential comes responsibility.
Absolutely. We have to be really thoughtful about how AI is developed, deployed, and used. One area of concern is bias. If AI systems are trained on data that's biased, they can actually make those biases worse.
So it's like if you were to teach a child using a textbook that was biased, they'd learn a distorted view of the world.
Exactly. That's a really good analogy. Researchers are working on ways to fix this bias in AI, but it's definitely complicated and requires a lot of attention and effort.
Another concern is privacy AI is becoming more and more a part of our lives, which means it's collecting more and more data about us. How can we be sure that this data is used ethically and responsibly?
That's where privacy-preserving AI comes in. It's a growing field of research that's focused on developing techniques that let AI systems learn from data without compromising anyone's privacy.
So it's like having your cake and eating it too.
Yeah, in a way.
Yeah.
And then there's the question of transparency. How can we make AI systems more understandable and accountable?
Yeah, it's one thing to have an AI that can make predictions, but it's another thing entirely to understand how it actually got to those predictions.
You're exactly right. And that's where explainable AI comes in. It's a growing area of research that aims to make AI decision-making more transparent and understandable. It's crucial for building trust in these systems.
It's kind of like going to a doctor who can give you a diagnosis but can't explain how they got there. You might start to question if you can really trust their judgment.
That's a great example. As AI becomes more sophisticated, these ethical considerations become even more crucial. We need to make sure that AI is aligned with our values and that it's used to benefit all of society.
It's a big responsibility, but definitely a conversation that needs to be had. Today, we've explored the incredible potential of AI, but it's also important to remember that responsible development and use is key. What are your final thoughts?
It's a really exciting time to be following the developments in AI. It seems like there's a new breakthrough every day, but I think it's important to approach AI with both enthusiasm and caution. We need to celebrate its potential, but also be aware of its limits and the potential risks.
Mm.
Ultimately, AI is a powerful tool that can shape a better future, but it's up to us to use it wisely.
I think that's a great note to end on. We've seen some truly amazing advancements in AI today, and it's clear that the future holds even more possibilities. But as we move forward, let's remember the importance of responsible development and use AI has the power to transform our world. Let's make sure we use it for good.
It's amazing to think about how quickly AI is evolving and how much it's going to change our lives.
Yeah, it seems like just yesterday we were amazed by things like simple chatbots. And now we're talking about robots that can understand our world and AI that can personalize our healthcare.
It's pretty mind-blowing. And as we've discussed, it's important to remember the ethical considerations that come with all of these advancements.
Absolutely. Bias, privacy, transparency. These are all critical issues that we need to be thinking about very carefully as AI becomes more powerful and more widespread.
Definitely. One thing that really struck me today was the emphasis on adaptability in a lot of the research that we talked about.
Like the Adalava framework that allows AI models to adapt their processing power based on the task.
Exactly. Or how researchers are training robots to navigate unpredictable environments with this idea of bounded rationality.
It seems like this focus on adaptability is really essential for AI to be able to move beyond the controlled environment of a lab and into the real world.
I agree. It's kind of like teaching AI to expect the unexpected, to be flexible and resilient in the face of new challenges.
And as AI systems become more integrated into our lives, this kind of adaptability is going to be more and more important for building trust and making sure that they're used safely and responsibly.
Definitely. It's reassuring to see that researchers are really grappling with these challenges and thinking about the bigger picture.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that AI isn't just about algorithms and data. It's about people.
At the end of the day, it's about using this technology to solve real-world problems, to make our lives better, and hopefully to create a better future for everyone.
Well said. And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the world of AI. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the latest research on arXiv.org to the ethical considerations that are so crucial to think about as AI continues to evolve. It's been a fascinating journey, and we hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have.
It's been a pleasure.
And to all of our listeners out there, stay curious, keep exploring, and let's work together to ensure that the future of AI is a bright one.